What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. Hopefully by now you've seen the new whip. Thing's been running good. I made it back just fine from Kenosha. Went over to my buddy's shop yesterday. He gave me a hand patching up a brake line on the rear. So we fixed the one split there. Did break one bleeder screw, so it's 90% bled. Brakes are fantastic compared to what it was when we left. I have the new wheel cylinder down there. And I got some new tires. Don't mind the mag wheels, not sporty. That's a coating job for the shop, but I just gotta drop them off over there. And then they dropped off 4 tires. I ordered 6. I don't know where the other 2 are, so Dottie's investigating what happened on that one, trying to figure out where my other 2 are. So later this week I'll be doing wheel swap on here. I don't know if I'm coating the wheels while it's apart, but today I'm going to start ripping apart my brand new, perfectly running truck. The only things that aren't working on this so far, the ABS module is disconnected, which I don't really care about that. I don't know if I'm even going to bother trying to fix it. That's 1. 2, the AC, we re-dyed and put everything back together yesterday, filled it up, and it's R12, so I had to do a 134 adapter. Got that done and plumbed in. I had ice cold AC in here yesterday for 1 day, and it's leaking out of the compressor. So I'm gonna get a compressor ordered up just because I want everything working on here. And if it's not working, Daddy's gonna be mad at me. So doing the new compressor should be pretty quick and easy. And then just a fresh recharge. Won't be too much. Doubt I'm gonna film anything on there. But the other thing is the radio. So the radio, oh, that blend door goes click, click, click. It's like the 3rd one like that. So the AC was working. Now we got a flashing light because it's not getting enough on the low pressure side. The radio works. However, it does not actually send any power to the speakers. I don't feel like messing around with trying to trace all of that because I do want to upgrade the head unit on here. So this is going to come off. The old equalizer is going to get gone. I think the install kit for the radio for the dash stuff is going to be here later today. It comes with a new panel for a single DIN. That'll stop in a minute. Single DIN radio down here. This will come out and I'll get a tray pocket that'll drop in here, so I'll get a little more storage and go from there. So a lot of this will be time lapse, but I'm just going to start ripping things apart. Got the brand new Harbor Freight tool kit that we had to buy when we were up there that I didn't even need, other than the battery posts, and go from there. So let me throw you guys in the back seat where it's all nice and clean, and let's get rolling on this. First things first, we rip the dash out, well, the dash bezel. These 2 are the only 2 bolts that actually work. These ones are just kind of in there. But come on now, gentle, gentle. So many cup holders in this vehicle. I think I should have enough room just to kind of swing this over and let this drop. Yeah. So hopefully that'll work for now. I guess we could just pop this off. Old plastic, kind of brittle. Yeah, hopefully that's good enough for now. That gets us to the head unit, and then this part should just be a trim piece. I might need to grab a flathead here in a minute. We'll worry about that later. We got a bunch of 7 mils, I think. Maybe it's standard. What are you, 9/32? 7 mil. I'll go with the 7. I'm gonna pull the AC one out too, I think, just because it'll give me more room. Should have grabbed a drill. But this stuff's all old plastic and fragile, so maybe it's better if I don't have a drill for this. Come on. AC module's out. Try not to lose any of my bolts. The upper part of the radio's out now. We're gonna have to get down below for the lower and then pop this panel out. So let me grab some more tools. Right, so I got the dash panel all separated. There's 2 wires that they ran to this little dummy light on the cargo thing. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that one hooked up. It's like a little LED or something. Might. We'll leave it hooked up for now. If it gets in the way, we'll get rid of it. But I did disconnect this section of the panels over here for that, just to kind of get it out of the way, because this is free. This can come out, and then the lower section down underneath here. We'll start up top first, because I really don't feel like going too crazy down here. You know what? I think I actually have trim tools. This I will need the vents out of, but that's about it. And what do we got here? More 7s. There. Where do you go? Just all the same? Okay. This needs to go away. Everything's loose. Now everything here should be run to the actual radio underneath the dash. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to film. I'll try, but we'll be back if anything comes up. Got a lot of stuff in the way here. I got this tow module, the tow controller deal. So that's kind of in my way, but this steel bracket down here, that's what holds in the actual radio. So I'm gonna dig that out off camera, and then we'll be back once that's free. I got one of the bolts out, but I did disconnect the wiring harness from the actual factory radio down there. Hopefully, I got enough for this. If anybody wants it, the EQ does work. All the buttons work. I don't know about the tape player. I didn't try that, but I don't have power to the speakers on the old setup. But that's okay. One thing at a time here. So now the head unit part, all of these work as well. So there are a lot of working parts on here. I think the radio has to come out still. So let me climb back under there and keep jamming away on the bottom side. There's an 8mm down here too. That'll hold that bracket into the radio itself. So I'm gonna pop that free. I'm really just trying to get room to access the top terminals. Got some zip tie action going on here too. I don't know why. Come on. There's our radio bracket. How do I get to these? I really don't want to pull all of these kick panels off. Oh, I hate underdash stuff. All right, Let me grab a Phillips. Okay. Now I can kind of see the radio. Looks like I got an antenna switch down here. This should free up this wire. And I don't know what those yellow and white ones are yet. Tied all sorts of stuff down here. Okay, that makes sense. There's one more hidden bolt. So once you drop that dash panel, there's one more on this side that's holding that radio in. So this should be good to go now. We'll go back to our 7mm. Pop that last one out. I wonder if I could actually just get all this stuff working. Is it worth trying to fix it? I can't tell yet. All of these parts I'm taking out do function. I just wasn't getting power to the actual speakers themselves. Could have just been a ground or something too. I kind of want a Bluetooth one. Okay, there we go. So antenna, we can pull that. Wiring harnesses, 1, 2, and 3. So there we go. Color coded here, everything's out. So there's our radio. What else do I need here? I gotta figure out where this yellow and white wire are going. So let me investigate that a little bit further and then I'll free this one up. The zip tie holding this wiring cluster together. That doesn't need to be on there. Drop this wire back down and get it from underneath. To cut the zip tie. That. So there's that. Now where does my yellow and white wire go? So this does have a 6-disc changer supposedly, or it did at one point. In the glove box is the controller for it. I'm guessing it has to be part of that, maybe? I don't know if I'm gonna need that yellow and white wire. I can't see where it goes. Another zip tie. And what? Oh, one more zip tie to cut. I wonder if that's the whole problem with the radio, was that wire. Alright, let's see if I can wiggle that zip tie down more. There we go. there we go. Head unit is now out. All of the radio stuff is now disconnected, except for the antenna, which should come in from the actual antenna in the car. But that's where we're gonna leave that for now. I might try and plug some of these things in outside of behind the dash if I got enough room to get the connections to fit, and see what's going on with this. AC control module back in. I'm not bolting any of this stuff in yet because I have parts on order for the dash install kit. It comes with that piece, basically a replacement for a single DIN down there. And we have everything disconnected. I tried hooking the radio back up, it still didn't work. So I'm hoping it's something internal on this 90s stuff. All the controllers work, I just don't have power out to the speakers. It could be something else too. If it is, we'll address that once the new head unit gets here. These are the wires that I need. This little cluster down here. All this just for some tunes. So these wires I gotta fish back up through the dash and over to here, and then I gotta pull this bracket out, I believe, right there. And that will make it accessible to run the new head unit install kit. Like I said, it's really all I need. This thing works great. But I think we're gonna actually try and update this to a CarPlay setup, which I've never run before, but I found a couple cheaper ones on Amazon. They might not work, but for 40 or 50 bucks, you can get a CarPlay one, single DIN, so it should fit into this section, with a backup camera, which I would actually like to try and hook up on here for, this is gonna be the tow vehicle, so having something kind of close to that hitch mount in the back, that's a whole different project that we won't be getting into, and I'm probably not gonna be filming any of that until it's all done, but I'll show you how that works. Kind of a stupid little project to be throwing a bunch of money at, but backing this thing up is not the easiest. That mirror's ripped out of the door, so I have no visual on that side, and with the dually it's a big truck, so we'll see. But let me fish these wires over and through, and then I'm pretty much on pause until my parts show up that are supposed to be here today. So pop this bracket, fish the wires through. Alright, so this one sucks. There's two bolts all the way down here in the dash. One over there, one over there. Really hard to get to. We've got two little extensions and a swivel. And it's really tight. If you're a younger follower to this channel and haven't been driving for several years, you're probably like, why would anybody put a stereo in there? Because the technology today is so good in car stuff. Factory. For me, man, every car. Upgrading stereo stuff and head units, and remember all those pop-out, flip-up visor screens when those first came out? The remote controls that you could carry. It had a little like remote for your stereo adjusters. Now, Bluetooth everything. I had a 6-disc CD changer back in the day. And then came MP3. Oh man, cannot wait to be done. I hate doing in-dash stuff. Okay, bolts are free. Yank this bracket out because that's going to be in our way for getting this back. All right, now we have an open compartment down here, so we're in good shape there. Now we gotta fish some wires through. This should be the antenna wire, I think. Might have to get a new end for this, but now I'll come back in these the wiring harness from this needs to get brought up this way and through. Come on. Because that's where we're going to do our quick connections for the actual new radio head unit. Right there. Let me see if I can free up some more slack underneath the dash on that and get these wires all the way through over here. I am pulling out the dash cluster because I really want to see what's behind here, or the cargo tray. Hoping I can get to this without having to pull the door completely off. Nope. Where's the bolt for this? Okay, let's see what's in this CD player thing. A mouse nest, that's cool. Right. This we'll get rid of, and then we'll grab a vacuum and get rid of that mouse nest, because don't need that in here. Okay, no more freeloaders. Now, I should be able to pull this thing through. So this is just our extra, and I don't know what I'm going to do on this. Maybe I'll just leave this in. Do I care enough? No. We're just going to pop that back out. Don't need extra stuff in the way. Not that it really matters, but it will leave a little bit of a hole here, unfortunately, on the plate itself. But that's okay. And try and get this thing back in to where it belongs. Just like that. Oh shit. If the 6-disc was in here, I probably would have kept that, to be completely honest. But it was not. It's not often, but every now and again, if you're traveling or driving far places or places you're not usually from, I have run into situations where we didn't have service. And the CDs kept our tunes going. This can go back on now. Okay. Stay. Just like that. Where's my Phillips? Cap back on too while we're at it. There we go. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for now until we get our new parts. So I'll have a little pocket tray over here. AC will get screwed back in, the connector's back on already. Then I gotta figure out what I'm doing for the main antenna feed in. But that'll be it for now. I'm gonna start throwing the lower dash panel stuff back in because I don't need that anymore. The only other thing I'm gonna have to do is figure out the end of the antenna wire. The connection on the end of this was broken. I don't know if this is the factory one that runs all the way up and over, but I do have a couple other little antenna leads here, so we'll start messing around with that later, but until that dash install kit and head unit get here, I'm pretty much dead in the water. But I would like to get this thing back together so it's still a running and driving truck. So I'll put these lower kick panels back in, get that situated. Now we have our electrical run up through here, so I got room to run everything to the new head unit right here. It'll be a stock connector that kind of clips onto there, and then I just got to splice and dice the rest of the wires if I need to. So that'll wrap this one up for now.